Okay, first of all, we played a really good football team today, and they were solid in all phases, and Coach has done a great job with this program. We've watched it, and I've watched it through the years, and they played really well. And there are certainly things that we have to improve on. Sometimes it takes a game like this to really give you a pretty good pulse on where we're at as a program. And Michigan State, the style of football that they play and how they play is where we eventually want to be, and we're a ways away from that. And these days aren't fun for anybody, but I don't want to take anything away from Michigan State. I think they're an excellent football team, and they played well today. So this time I'll open up any questions anybody might have.
Craig, I know they jumped on
you. Excuse me?
Craig, they jumped on you early and, and kind of imposed their will. Just how demoralizing was that, and what were your thoughts of the defense? Was it more just Michigan State executing, or did you guys really lack in some areas?
Well, a lot of times as coaches, most of the time the very first thing you look at yourself. And there are certainly things, Robert, that, there was times that we didn't have the right assignments. But also I saw a time where they took our 300-pound defensive tackle, he got from him 5 yards backwards one time. And he's a tough guy. And so I think it's a combination of both. Typically I've always found to be real measured in my statements here, because the next day the tape doesn't bear out how I'm feeling. Certainly, you're real critical of how we played. But once again, I think Michigan State did some good things, but certainly their start, I think, was very impressive. And I want to credit Michigan State, but we need to own some of that stuff too.
Coach, Sean and DJ ran well at times, but did Michigan State scoring the amount that they did early kind of, change the game plan as far as them not getting a ton of carries?
Well, when you're chasing points, you're going to change somewhat anyhow. And some of it also comes into, when there's certain plays that are going to work and you don't have one of your tackles in there. We've had a little bit of musical chairs at the offensive line position, but you're going to have that during the course of the season. And we felt like we needed to do everything we could to get back in the ballgame. And you're not going to do that consistently by running power play. And there were times our power play worked, and other times, some of the portions of run play didn't work very well. I do know you're not going to beat a team like Michigan State turn the ball over either, and not coming up with turnovers. And so, a whole lot of work to be done, and we'll and all three phases. Whether it's getting field goal blocked, rushing defense, passing defense, sacks. There's some glimpses of some good things, but we've got to move forward. We can't let one team beat us twice.
You played Oregon. What's your comparison between Oregon and Michigan State?
Very comparable. And as I watched that game, we watched it, closely. That game was a very close game. What was different, and I don't know, maybe it's the juncture of the season. This was a really physical Michigan State team, and typically teams get better as they go through when they play a physical style of football. So I thought they played well today.
Craig, you mentioned you didn't have your left tackle. Did you? Was that late in the week, and what happened there?
It's got a concussion.
Got a concussion.
And it happened late. Found out today.
Oh.
Coach, just how tough is it? Where I know you guys pride yourself on taking advantage of the line of scrimmage and dominating that, and so today, when you can't really get the push that you want on both sides of the ball, how difficult does that make it for you?
Really hard, because that's a brand of football that you want to play, and typically you feel like you're going to match up well on teams like this, and when it doesn't happen, I don't want to say it's a wake-up call, because I knew. These coaches here, I've known for a long time what kind of teams they have and this success. But I would have hoped we'd be further along than what we were today. And but like I said, we've got a bye week, and we've got to learn from it and make improvement and get ready for Hawaii.
Is this a good time for a bye week too, Craig, to hopefully heal up, or would you rather go back and play a game and try to get this out?
We played 2 top 10 teams in a short amount of time and won 3 very emotional games. That's a recipe. That's challenging. I don't care who you are. I've coached long enough, and so yes, right now we need a bye, and we need to get stronger in the weight room and get some necks healed up and get our full complement of players.
Anything else injury-wise that you know of right now from today's game?
Not right now. There wasn't anybody, I don't believe, Robert, but once again, sometimes you get surprised. But not anything right now that I'm aware of. But sometimes something will come up later on, and I'll keep you abreast of tomorrow. Okay? Thanks.